This is Better Western Mass.
It's a big weekend at MGM Springfield as the casino's hosting some big entertainment acts this weekend. And one of those acts is here with us in studio. You may recognize this guy from his Comedy Central specials or as the taxi driver giving out money in cash cab. Please welcome Ben Bailey. Ben, great to have you.
Thank you, man.
Good to see you. Big fan of the show. You're a stand-up comedian. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, how long have you been doing cash cab now?
We started doing cash cab in 2005, so a long time.
Quickly do the math.
A very long time.
Did you ever think it would last this long?
Well, we had a few years when we didn't do it, and they just brought it back. We started doing it again in 2017
because of the popularity.
Yeah, it was backed by popular demand. We got to use that expression.
And you've become something of a superstar because of it.
Thank you.
Now, as a stand-up comedian, you always want the audience to be receptive. But do you find there's more pressure now that people know you more? You become like a household name.
I don't feel like there's more pressure, but they definitely have expectation. You know, whereas before,
it's like, Ben, good to meet you. Now be funny.
Well, they expect me to like act the way that I do on the show. Whereas before that, they didn't have any expectation.
And you kind of got into the show in a roundabout way. I heard you were a bouncer that was invited to do stand-up.
Yep.
And then became a cab driver.
Yeah. Well,
and you actually have a license.
I do. Yeah. It's expired at the moment. I'm gonna have to get it renewed before I go out there and drive
the officials aren't watching this.
But yeah, I did a bunch of different jobs at the Comedy Store in LA. I was a bouncer and a bartender, and I answered the phones, and that's how I sort of stumbled into stand-up, which then years later, 12 years later, led to cash cab.
It took quite a while to become an overnight success.
It did, yeah. 25 years I've been doing this ridiculous job.
Whenever I watch the show, I always marvel that you're hosting a show inside a cab, but actually driving these folks to their destinations.
It should be illegal. I think it should probably be illegal.
That was the first thought that crossed my mind.
You can't text message, but you can host a game show, right?
It's got to be difficult because I know I can only do one thing good at a time.
Right. So it's one or the other. So you can host
You're witty,
well,
you're asking questions.
Or drive well, one or the other.
And what is it for you?
For me, I try to let go of the wheel, so to speak. I have a couple of drinks.
Clearly,
just kidding.
Remember, this interview is airing.
Just kidding.
He is stone sober, at least while he's driving. I can't vouch for him at the moment. So let's segue into your act then. You've been a stand-up comedian for decades.
Yeah, 25 years.
So what do you talk about? Do you ever touch on the fact of cash cab, or do you have a whole different act, a whole set?
I'll tell some cash cab stories. I have some bits about cash cab. I refer to it. I know the crowds want me to, and if I don't, they start wondering, like, is that the guy?
Well, we have time. We've only got 30 seconds.
Oh boy!
I wanted to pull this out. I'm going to ask you a question or two from the show and see if you can answer
cash cab questions.
These are actual questions that you used once upon a time.
Shout-outs? Do I have shout-outs?
You can if you want.
All right.
Besides Barbara Bush, who's the only other woman to have been both the wife and mother of a U.S. president?
Abigail Adams.
Can you see this? Is there any way? You're correct. All right, so that was $25.
Booyah.
One more. Home to more than 300 million tiny sacs called alveoli, what human organ has the surface area of about half a tennis court?
What human organ?
Half a tennis court.
Your large intestine.
No, it's actually lungs.
Oh, it's the lungs.
Lungs.
Right.
Luckily, we're at your destination.
I meant lungs.
It's time for you to get out of the cab, Ben. No. I want to thank you first. Again, we want to promote the shows, obviously. You have a show tonight.
Yes, 7:15, right?
That's the show tonight, May 31st, and then you have two tomorrow. The Early Bird Special, June 1st at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
First time you've actually performed while the sun is up.
Yeah, we're going to have eggs and toast. And then we're going to do a comedy show.
It should be a good one. And then the late show that night is at 7 p.m.?
Yeah, the real late for the late night owls, 7 p.m.
All right, see if you can stay up that late.
I will.
Ben, great to see you.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Great meeting you.